situations. But don't be fooled for either of these teams. They have got a heck of a task waiting for them if they do win this. BDS, an angry BDS, are waiting in the next round. Only one of these teams can make it through to it, though, as we do have Triple Trouble versus Denied. And I think these both are teams that are... Wait a second, Bluey. Wait a second, Bluey! Well, that is one heck of a goal.
Yeah, what a play by Bluey. He was rotating out, and then he just realized, hold on a second, I think I can make a play on that. I'm going to go for it. Pulls it off to perfection. Great touch by Bluey. Beats out the last defender to the ball. And to be honest, I don't think the last defender even knew Bluey was turning for that. He thought it was a free hit. Next thing he knows, they've been scored on. So why can't we see more of that from Triple Trouble? This is such a great play.
I have a soft spot for any shot that you can get at an angle like that where you've already nailed the air rotation before, like a couple of seconds before you even hit the ball. He is up, he turns, he's like, I've got this. I've just got to press the boost button now, and it's in.
Yeah, no, I mean,
we love it.
We know Bluey can do things like this. We've seen him do it so many times in the past. His mechanics have completely blown us away at numerous LAN events and Rocket League events throughout the history, since the very beginning of the competitive scene, even before he was old enough to play RLCS. But Triple Trouble, for some reason, have just kind of faltered at RLCS X regional events this year. They haven't shown up. They've been, putting in work in the grid. They've been, playing pretty well and getting the respect to their opponents in, scrims and in other tournaments. But when it comes to these RLCS regional events, they just kind of fall asleep. So it's great to see Bluey actually showing up with a huge goal already. Maybe they can continue to do that, make a run here.
Oh, good shot there from Alex, and delivery from Bluey equally as good. Well, what will be very, very alarming there for Denied is nobody was close.
Yeah.
They tried to challenge on the far side. They didn't send anyone to the actual shot itself. That is scary.
Yeah, and it looked like that was the only play that Triple Trouble had in that spot. Like, maybe, they're expecting Bluey to just shoot that. But to be honest, I would be surprised if Bluey shoots from that range. Infield pass is far more dangerous. So that looked like Triple Trouble's only play. And like you said, no one on Denied even got close to it. They really need somebody to be attacking that center ball, especially on an infield pass. You need to be intercepting those. You can't just let them come through uncontested. Now, Triple Trouble show how it's done. There it is. Infield pass comes in. Calyx is first to it.
You mentioned earlier on about how long these players have been together now, and sometimes for teams that we have seen do that, there's a little bit of stagnation that tends to come through, especially when you're playing as often as we are this season. That is a great shot, and even better save. My goodness, Calyx stepping up here in game one, and then finds the demo to help his team out. But maybe this very short winter break that they've had just helps them come back with a few new ideas, and then that stagnation just comes into chemistry that you've got built up.
Yeah, I love that play and defense from Calyx. First of all, a fantastic save, but also that demo off a fake challenge. He doesn't want to go for that. Oh, that's a good play though. Billy will put it in the bottom corner, and a couple of posts coming into play in offense. There it is. Surprising Triple Trouble. Tadpole just lunges for it. And for once, Bluey and Calyx have kind of had the same idea there. Nobody's covered in the back post, both just diving in. And when the recovery is that fast, or rather when the attacker recycling the ball that quickly, it doesn't matter how fast your recoveries are. You're not getting there. It's just too quick. The shot comes in far too early, and it is now Triple Trouble on the receiving end of a goal.
I want us to be reminded just how impressive Rocket League defense truly is, to be playing at this pace and to be reading your opponents that quickly. What you just saw just there is what happens when one thing goes wrong. It's so difficult to recover the rest of the play, get everyone back into position, and keep the ball out of your own net. Looking for the pass across field, and Justice isn't going to get there on time. Infield passing plays are ripping this Denied defense apart.
Yeah, Bluey's the one to deliver it again. He's created pretty much all three goals here, pulling out a wonderful redirect for the first one, and now perfect infield pass to Tadpole, just like the one he already did to Calyx earlier on in the game. It's been the Bluey show in offense for Triple Trouble, and the more that they get Bluey involved in offense, when Bluey is the one leading the charge, the more success I think Triple Trouble will have. Like Gibbs said, it's been Tadpole who's been the most successful offensive player for them in the RLCS X winner split up until now. But there's no debate. Bluey is the mechanical player of this team, or at least the most mechanical player. He's the player who can, on paper, cause the most trouble for the other teams in offense. I want to see Bluey getting involved as much as possible. I want to see Calyx and Tadpole bring in Bluey into those positions as much as possible.
Yeah, Bluey has always been the key to unlock the offense for this team. Otherwise, they can get very, very paint by numbers with what they try and present. And when we do see a team like Triple Trouble that have struggled to put together the results they would like to, we have to start looking towards, well, when did they get the results? You know, what were they bringing on the performances that got them quite far? And they do have one grid victory to their name this season. Yeah. And in that grid, it was Bluey. And it was Bluey who was tearing everybody apart.
Yeah, every good team, or all the best teams in the world right now, they've got one troublemaker on their team who is just so hard to read. They're pulling off ridiculous mechanical skills. And Bluey is the only one on Triple Trouble who really fits that description. If they're going to have that disruptor, that guy who's just getting into offense at every single opportunity, breaking rotation whenever he can, it would be him. And, you know, we haven't seen him do that in our RLCSX regional events. But this could be the start of it. Obviously, against Denied, it's not really the biggest test of their skill here. You know, we have to see them play against a more seasoned team to know if they can actually get Bluey to pop off against the top tier competition. But this is good enough for now. You know, they can't ignore what's right in front of them. Then Denied are the team that they need to beat, and they are beating them pretty comfortably.
As you can see, Calyx, #1 for the overall amount of points scored. And this is what we mean by unlocking the offense, is that Bluey is very much a part of that sort of roster of players that came through that were very good at 1v3ing. But as defenses have got better, you can't 1v3. But what Bluey can do very well is he can force multiple of your players to go towards him. And even then, we saw just that he was launching the ball into the infield with very little trouble. There we go. Bluey show here in game #1 for Denied. We need to see some more out of them heading into game 2 because they did seem outclassed here.
Yeah, Denied didn't have any successful defense against the infield passing of Triple Trouble. So that's really the step 1 for them, is they need to keep an eye on those infield passes. Fair play. You know, the first goal, Bluey just pulled it out of nowhere. You know, you just have to say well played to that one, because when a player like Bluey hits a shot that early and that well, not really a lot you can do about it. Hard to see that coming. But both the infield pass goals, they should have been preventable. You know, the defensive structure, the defensive positioning for Denied, it needs to improve. Once again, they've just left the infield pass wide open. They're stacking up players on the goal line. No one is ready to intercept those passes when they come through.
There's Chippy. He will be all on his lonesome here. And because of that, you can use the numbers advantage over on Triple Trouble. Find your way out. Tadpole. Actually, Bluey's missed this. And Calyx will move in instead. Down, Calyx with Tadpole up in support. Will that infield be available yet again? Instead, they're going for bump plays, they're going for demos, and now they're going to try and play it all the way around. Up goes Bluey off the backboard. Billy gets there just in time. There wasn't a follow-up, though, from Triple Trouble. And instead, they are bumping, and somehow that has been kept out. But for how much longer?
Yeah, it is just, it does feel like it's a matter of time. The defense is so vulnerable for Denied. There are openings every single time that Triple Trouble attack them. Triple Trouble are doing well to find those openings and to play through them. But the fact that they're there in the first place is not good enough at this level. You can't leave those gaps in the defense, especially for something as well known as an infield pass. These days, infield passes are just as much of a risk as they are a reward with how many teams are intercepting them and scoring off those interceptions. But Denied don't look to be one of those teams.
Yeah, infield pass is very much the all or nothing to your offense. You're either scoring off this or the play is done. Very often, not much of an in-between. 2 minutes played here. Triple Trouble, despite having some great opportunities, haven't scored just yet. This game up in the air. But where is that offense going to come from for Denied? Can they find some way to get it going? Bluey, no boost for him. Still gets at least a challenge from it. Goes to the far side and gets time to turn around before beating the player to it.
Wow.
And it is just outpaced at the moment. And now they are outshot. Calyx puts it in for 1-0.
Yeah, it's just all too easy for Triple Trouble. They're not really having to do a whole lot here. Just hit the ball into the center of the box, and Denied probably won't have somebody there to defend it. Chippy there actually was kind of in position to defend that one. It was an awkward touch off his own back wall, but it's a touch he should be making. You know, the fact that defenders are making these really awkward reads and successfully hitting the ball clear of danger in these spots. Once again, it's just bounced off the back wall right next to a Denied player, and there's no contact. It's not a mistake that you're allowed to make these days. You can't just miss the ball when it's right next to you on your own back wall and expect to get away with it.
There's that level of hesitation from everything they've done so far. We just saw it for their previous play as Tadpole goes up. Calix is bumped, not going to find anything. But even for the infield pass that they just attempted, there was so long where we could see the attempted passer just sat on the far side of the ball waiting, like now. And Triple Trouble can see that. They can see a player, you know, outside of the ball. He's got a play moving in. I think that might just be an infield pass for them. They need to just make that decision first time and go for it. Right now, that hesitation is giving Triple Trouble so much time to get to every play before them. Here is Billy. Not going to get the double tap. It's always going to be very difficult to do, but are they going to get this for free off the backboard? Yet again, it's still good enough for Triple Trouble. 1.5 here. 1 goal to the better. Might be 2, unless Justice can get it over. This is some quick play, actually, and for the first time, Triple Trouble have been outpaced towards the ball. Now backboard, double tap, not gone for. Justice gets it, but Calix is big enough to keep it away, and Justice is going to push that one back. We'll look to try and take a first-time shot towards one of his teammates instead of just allowing Triple Trouble to get the save that they wanted. But they're not going to get the play that they're after here. Still the best flurry they've had so far.
What?
It's off the back, off the crossbar, and Bluey will be the first one to it. A little bit of life here, though, and they've got to keep this going.
Yeah, that's definitely hope for Denied. And once again, it's Chippy on the counterattack. Calix will make a pretty good touch on it. And it was a necessary touch because he didn't have any help there. Bluey and Tadpole were out of the game for a while. But I feel like Denied should have scored there. It should have certainly put a better shot on target. The accuracy on those completely uncontested hits is just not quite good enough. And that was after some really good aerial setup as well. They did well. That was definitely their best look this entire series. But the final touch needs to be more clinical. You know, it has to be more like what we saw in the Team Liquid vs. Fadeaway series. Just into top corners, confidently struck not straight down the middle at a goalkeeper.
Have they got one more flurry in them, or is that game done? Calix's shot will be off target. And it doesn't look like they're going to get a chance for it. So, Triple Trouble, despite a late blast from the lads over on Denied, are going to take it. And they do just look like the better team at the moment.
Yeah, it's a really hard actually to place Triple Trouble today. It's really hard to figure out just how well they're playing because Denied in you know, defending infield passes in game 1 looked completely incapable. In you know, in defense on their own back wall in game number 2, again didn't look up to par. So some things that you just expect to be given these days. You know, these little half volley wall clears in the back wall, you know, getting players off the line early to intercept and attack infield passes. Every team should be doing that. Every team pretty much at RLCS level, they are all doing that these days, except for Denied, who haven't really shown up defensively here. And I think Triple Trouble have realized that. They've realized if we just play a very solid series here, we're probably going to win 3-0 because Denied have got glaring weaknesses in defense. But I don't know, is that the best way to warm up for the next round?
I don't think there is a good
not.
If the issues are that obvious, there isn't a good way. There's nothing Triple Trouble could do here, I feel, that would convince us.
Yeah.
I feel like the way that we have seen Denied play, Triple Trouble could come out here, win by 8. We're still not going to turn around and just go, well, they're looking good enough to take on BDS. They just have to do what they've got to do here. Make sure they get the win. Get them. They're going to have time to get into scrims. You know, their result and their playstyle here isn't really going to have much of an effect on how they go against BDS. But at the same time, for those of you at home, it is difficult to judge a team who are getting the majority of their goals from very free backboard hits and very free infield passes when they're going to take on teams in the future that, well, won't give them that for free.
Yeah, I would say BDS on a pretty average day for them would maybe have conceded once against Triple Trouble. I think maybe the first Blue Eagle could go in, but there is absolutely no world, no universe that exists. No, it doesn't matter how many parallel universes you think there are right now. An infinite number of parallel universes wouldn't allow BDS to concede off any of the infield passes or any of the back wall plays that Triple Trouble had produced, because they were pretty basic. I think most teams would have saved them, not even BDS. I think every RLCS team should be saving those shots.
So I feel, I want to put this one by you very quickly. Does this not, though, help out Triple Trouble on one very basic thing, is the fact that Bluey has had this sort of freedom and this sort of space where if he gets this and he believes in the confidence that he can get from this series, he can take that into BDS and won't play, you know, basic rotation, don't make any mistakes, Bluey, and instead we get go forever I want for Bluey as Calyx shows us something a little bit different from his side of the play.
Yeah, very nice play there by Calyx. Billy sort of just autopiloted underneath the ball there, left Justice out to dry, and then Calyx completely cleaned him in defense. Very nice flick by him. But again, though, pretty glaring defensive weakness coming out of Denied. That's not a play where Billy can afford to just drive underneath the ball and hope that it's going to come to him. He needs to be ready for it to go wrong. He has to, you know, help out Justice in defense there. You know, Justice he got 1v1, but it's kind of on the rest of his team to, you know, have some support for him in that position.
Yeah, Justice can only really defend so much of that goal, especially one-on-one. Billy, very quick to this one, however. He's going to drop straight down, but so much time for Tadpole, unless he gets demoed, and I think he was very aware of that. Wow. Was that a double commit? I was on a different camera.
For a second, I just thought that it was going to be another free goal, but Denied did have a player in defense. They don't have anybody defending a pretty low backboard bounce still. However, Tadpole's attempt to double touch has hardly taken off. You know, thinking more about what this will look like against BDS. Oh, that's a great save. Chippy off his own crossbar, and that's a nice recovery as well. So finally, some shining moments in defense for Denied. They're going to need a whole lot more of that, and a lot more creativity in offense as well. I want to see more solo plays in the air, maybe. That's the only thing that's working for them in the last game. You know, looking forward to Triple Trouble as we expect to make it through this. You know, what I would guess is going to happen is that Bluey's going to go up for a big play. He's going to get beaten to the ball by a month by Monkey Moon, and then he's going to lose all confidence. Like, that's probably what's going to happen after this. And this is not a good warm-up for BDS at all, in my opinion.
Well, only one goal scored so far for Denied across the last 13 minutes of gameplay. They need one and then some. They are to try and take this into game number 4. Tadpole can't quite find the infield. As Bluey will just push that one to the far side. Right now, Triple Trouble just trying to make sure that the same attack that we got from the very end of the last game can't come through from Denied yet again. That is probably the scariest they have been throughout this series.
Yeah. Yeah, so those aerials, you know, the air dribbles looked pretty good for Denied, actually, towards the end of game number 2. They were setting up some pressure play. Oh, it had to be on target once again. It's the clinical shooting that's lacking for Denied. There's no accuracy, and it's the crossbar again, and Calyx is somehow connected with Bluey with his clear ball. Still, Denied coming forward, pre-flip save by Tadpole. Are they going to get away through here? No, it is Triple Trouble. You collect yet another dribbling play out of defense. Denied just cannot get shots on target.
Oh, and Justice might not survive this one, and he won't. He was still landing as his teammates were going up for this. And there was no chance for him. Tadpole with an extra threat. 2-0. And Denied might be trying to figure out now what they're going to do for the lower bracket.
Yeah, they need to make some drastic changes. They need to really step it up in several aspects of the game. They're getting destroyed here. Tadpole had an uncontested flip reset double attempt there. And now Billy has had to scramble to save the slowest shot of the tournament so far. Yeah, complete game plan change, complete mechanical upgrade is required. If Denied are going to make any kind of run in this tournament, they have to start defending something. Because they're not defending their back wall particularly well. They're not defending infield passes. And they're allowing far too much space for Triple Trouble to make plays offensively. I mean, I think they need to load up some open net training packs or something, because this is just not quite good enough. They've had chances and they haven't hit the target.
Well, the scariest thing as well is that they're playing either Top Blokes or Team Liquid in that lower bracket. It's not going to get any easier for them. If anything, it's about to get much, much harder.
And to be honest, that's a dream draw, I would say, because if Top Blokes beat Team Liquid, there's no team you'd rather play after such a shocking performance in an upper bracket against Triple Trouble. You know, we got to like put this in perspective for everybody watching. Triple Trouble they've struggled massively in RLCS regionals up until now. Every single one of them, they've not looked great, and they just dominated this. It was easy. You know, I'm pretty sure Blue turned off his monitor for the third game and they still crushed it. It was not even remotely a challenge because Denied can't hit the target. They have massive holes in defense. But even, you know, saying that, Team Liquid would be the best possible team for you to play against in this situation. Denied have been swept to the lower bracket. They don't look like they have a chance here. But, you know, if Team Liquid lose to Top Blokes, they might just tilt off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And, you know, Team Liquid on Mars...
I'm already jaded by this, Johnny, because we've already done this during the last regional that we commentated on. I can't remember which teams it was, but we saw a team get absolutely smashed on day one. And then they got themselves through to like top 8, I think it was. So that's the joy of double elimination. And that is the joy of the fact that Denied will now get time to try and figure out what they're going to do over in that lower bracket, but we also need to find out who they're going to be playing, as when we come back, it is going to be Team Liquid facing off against the previous regional champions in Top Blokes.